I actually am a used car dealer, and I buy a lot of salvage and rebuilt vehicles. And I've noticed lately that they're not giving titles for a lot of those. Predominantly hail cars, which I kind of find surprising. But so I contacted Dustin Miller about it to see what was going on. He said that the way the Kentucky state law is written, the insurance companies feel like they have to junk them. And I thought, well, I wish I knew somebody that could do something about that. So I actually have a 90-minute presentation prepared, but I think I can keep it down to like 3 or 4 minutes.
Representative Huff, before you go any further,
Yeah.
for those that don't know, could you explain to them when you say a hail damage?
Yeah, I actually provided these to everybody. I hope everybody got one. On the first page, it says Kentucky Bill of Sale, parts only, no title. I circled it. And on the second page, I circled run and drive, and our primary damage was hail. So I buy a lot of these cars. I'm actually driving one today. But about half of them, they will not provide the title for. And it's just cosmetic damage. It's little dings on the hood and the trunk and the roof, you know. Nothing that causes any kind of safety hazard whatsoever. So what happens is a car like this, say I'd give $3,000 for it. Other countries buy them for $500. About 90% of it is Mexico that buys them. I don't really know if they ship the car across the border to Mexico, but they're not junking them. Most likely they can buy them that cheap, they can transport them and still have less in them.
Who's the shady guy with the weird hat on in there?
I'm going to assume that's the photographer.
Okay. All right. Tell us what your bill does, Representative Huff.
Well, basically they said if we provide these 4 lines, it's like one small paragraph, that would give them the flexibility to not have to junk as many of the cars. So that's pretty much what it does.
Want to add?
Yeah, I'll just add. So what those 4 lines essentially do is provide an exemption from that, what we call the 100% statute. Essentially, if the repair costs exceed the value, then we're forced. So if the car is worth in your example, $3,000, and the repair cost are $3,001, we call it junking the car, but essentially you have to forfeit the title. So what this does is basically say things that are essentially cosmetic, that's not the terminology that's used, but things that don't impact safety and structural, if they're exempt from that, then you wouldn't have to junk those cars. It's pretty straightforward. This was, Representative Huff brought this to us, and we looked at our operations and said, we want to try to support him and help him out. Maybe he has a point. So we kind of worked with him on the language. By no means will say it's perfect. I'm sure there are people who have other thoughts and inputs on that. We're very open to that. This is not some kind of model bill or something that we're working on. It's really just trying to adjust our statutes to accommodate the situation that he's raised. But be glad to take any questions.